Before you even start to speak, you are letting people know if you're feeling or not feeling confident. Today, I'm going to be talking about the visual code of confidence. This is all about really commanding confidence before you speak. Now, I see so many women in business who tell me that I just feel invisible when it comes to meetings or in groups, or I really don't like how I look on camera. I've been so guilty on that, and I've got a bit of a story for you around that. Or maybe you're feeling like an imposter or a fake when you try to stand tall or try to look confident. How was that? That was a bit robotic if you're watching this on YouTube. But here's the problem. When you don't trust in how you're showing up, you begin to second guess a lot of the things. You start to second guess around your message. You start to second guess around your own tone, your delivery techniques. And if you're feeling like the way you show up, you're not feeling confident, then that's already portraying on the outside. You see, presence is the first hurdle, and it's one of the most women don't even realize is holding them back. Back when I was studying, when I just started my journey with NLP, neuro linguistic programming, I remember the facilitator asking each of us individually to stand up and to introduce ourselves. Now, there was a number of reasons why he did this. Firstly, A, to get to know the students and for the students to get to know each other. But he also intentionally did this so he could use it as a bit of a teaching opportunity. And the teaching opportunity was on how we were showing up. He spoke about how our bodies are already speaking before we even open our mouth. Now, and I'm not just talking about body language, it comes across in so many different ways. But a lot of the times we may not even be aware that we are showing up or that our body is speaking that we're not confident. And this is primarily driven internally on how we see ourselves. And it's how we believe and feel around showing up, which is just one of the many things when it comes to confidence. And it's something that does not get spoken about enough. And this is primarily the visual code of confidence. If you've been following me for a while or you've heard my latest episodes on the confidence codes, the visual code of confidence is all about how you show up and how people perceive you before you even open your mouth. Um, we all judge, right? We all judge and we see what someone's wearing or whether they're feeling nervous, are their hands shaking, all these different things. We all judge, we see that. And we judge from the moment we meet someone. So your visual code plays a really critical role in that. So if you're shrinking, apologizing, and or hiding behind a screen and not wanting to go out in person, that is your presence and it's speaking louder than your words will ever will. And a lot of the times we don't even realize that our posture is impacting how we um, feel with our own confidence. But it's such a simple little technique that even just standing here and rolling back my shoulders before I even began, it was opening up my heart space, my chest space, ready to open up and to be of service. Our bodies are already speaking for us, and how we're feeling internally is reflected outside in our body more than we're even aware of. Now, I remember the first time that I filmed myself doing a Facebook Live, and I hated every second of it. It was it was petrifying. I was scared. But afterwards, I noticed every awkward hand movement, every tilt of my head, or every outfit choice, and I almost deleted it. But then I realized that this was part of my journey of me being more brave, being more confident. And at the time, I didn't even realize that those videos, the history of my journey has brought me to where I am today, to really unlock and discover the confidence codes and to discover that there are so many components of what makes you feel confident. This is beyond the faking it till you make it. And through that, I realized that my audience back at that time wasn't focused on my little imperfections. They weren't watching how I showed up. They were watching, like, did I look present? Was I connected? Did I believe in what I was saying? And back then, I did. I was so passionate and behind it. And then when I started to bring in this, oh, you need to do this or you need to do that, and people pushing things on me that just didn't feel like me, that also then started to impact my messaging, my belief, all of that. Presence is more important before words. That you feel connected and present with your visual codes. And here's why this matters. Before you open your mouth, your presence is already telling a story, way before anything. Your posture, your energy, and even what you wear, they do all communicate, but they communicate whether you believe in yourself. They don't communicate. Yes, there are parts to that where they communicate different messages and things like that, but they ultimately communicate whether you believe in yourself. When your external presence starts to align with your internal state, it doesn't just change how others see you, but most importantly, it changes how you see you. And that's what's confidence, feeling confident is all about. It's about how you visually see you. Now, let's speak to visual when it doesn't feel real and it doesn't feel authentic, where we risk the fake it till you make it, that feelings of imposter. Now, there is a lot out there where, and I speak about it as well, like feel the fear and do it anyway. Yeah. Even if your voice shakes, do it. Absolutely. Because it's part of your journey. It's part of your journey in your confidence. Confidence is not built in one night, in one workshop, in one session. It's built over a series of steps, a series of codes, right? And so a lot of the time I see women, they feel like the thing that's missing for them is the outer parts of their visual code. So they go, okay, well, I don't feel confident, and maybe I need to dress the part. Maybe I need to look this way. And what ends up happening that if you don't align the internal aspects with the external, you're avoiding the thing that really needs to be dealt with because you have not seen yourself that way. Now, how I know this to be true is because a few years ago, I worked with someone who was helping me do some fashion styling for a photo shoot. And some of the clothes I put on, and I felt, yep, this feels like me. That's good. And she spoke to me about putting some clothes on that were more kind of like my next level version of me, that aspirational part of me. And I got to tell you, it felt really uncomfortable, really uncomfortable. Not only did the clothes feel uncomfortable, but I felt uncomfortable. I did not even feel confident. I actually felt a lot worse. and felt really uncomfortable because I didn't know whether I liked the clothing or I didn't like the clothing, right? But it just didn't feel true to who I was at the time. And that's what I'm talking about. The visual code has to be true, authentic to you. And I speak to this because I often see, and I've been guilty of it, where we feel like we need to mask behind clothing that may not feel confident based on where you already are. And if that is the case, if you're feeling that, then people will feel that as well. But I'll also share a highlight of that journey because, again, I'm sharing with you, this has been my journey to unlock and discover my own confidence codes and the different layers. So, most recently, I did a photo shoot and I had a couple of outfits. I actually did the whole styling myself. So, in the past, I would have people, advise me with my styling. And I really do believe that that has a place. Absolutely. But I invested in that before I invested in the things that I really needed to do. And that was the internal work. What I found in this last photo shoot is I brought some outfits and I brought a red dress. And I hadn't even tried the red dress on yet. I bought it. I loved how it looked because I could visually start to see myself in that dress. And when I did the photo shoot, I said to the photographer, I got this last dress, but if we don't have time for it, it's totally fine because I don't really feel like it's part of my brand. She looked at the dress. Now, she's worked with me on a couple of photo shoots, and she said to me, oh, excuse me, she didn't sneeze. She said to me, oh no, we're doing that dress. I love that dress. I can so see that dress on you. Now, this dress was loud, it was bold, it was fiery, it was red. It was a version of me that I had not really turned the volume up, right? And probably it's not the version of me that I had not really met yet, right? And I tell you what, the moment I put that dress on, I had fully felt and seen that version of me. The version of me that was fiery, that was passionate, that was bold, that was courageous, that was funny and cheeky and um, luxurious all in one. I felt her and I could see her in the mirror because I had done the work around my visual confidence code. That's my internal muscle of seeing my own light in that way. And it was now being displayed on the outside externally. So, how do you start to bring that visual code into your world where you feel like the outside matches the inside? Or you know that we need to work more on the inside so that it matches the outside. Well, I'm going to share with you 3 simple things that you can start with today. The first one is about grounding your body. So before you speak, pause, plant your feet, roll your shoulders back, and just allow your body to arrive. Your audience feels that grounded presence. This is such a simple thing, yet so many speakers and women and leaders I see out there do not do this one little thing. It really allows you to land visually in the space and you feel grounded in the space. Now, if you might be hearing this on my podcast or in your ears, but it's the first thing I did when I opened this video today. The second thing is to choose alignment and not perfection. Wear what makes you feel comfortable and powerful now, right? Not what you think others expect or what other people tell you confidence comes. right? Confidence comes from congruence. It's built up. I built up to the red dress. And most recently, I got a sparkly suit as well that I've built up to because I feel it within me. You cannot put a Wonder Woman outfit on and become her just from wearing it. It's about seeing the parts of your inner Wonder Woman and then feeling it. And the third thing is to really practice being seen. Record yourself on video, watch it back with curiosity and compassion. And notice how little small shifts in posture, maybe shifting the top you're wearing or the makeup or your energy can really start to change everything. The problem I find is that we want to try and change everything all at once, but it's about small incremental steps. So the visual code isn't about being perfect, it's about being present. Because when you show up with presence, you give your audience permission to lean in and trust you even before you've said a word. Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and I look forward to sharing more confidence codes in the following weeks. Have a great day, and thanks for listening. Bye for now.